I'm Kevin O'Hara for alcoholmastery.com. This is Stop Drinking Alcohol 68. On the site this week I'm trying something different. I'm trying to do a podcast. I'm doing a podcast. It's I go out walking every morning, and sometimes I just don't have enough time to set up the camera and do all that kind of stuff, and then re-edit the stuff when I get back home. So it's a lot easier to do just some simple audio. So hopefully you like what I've done. It's I'm hoping that it's going to be around an hour mark, that kind of thing. I'm not sure how it's going to develop, whether it's going to be one long topic for the full week that I do over 3 days, 4 days, or several different topics. I think more than likely a mixture of the two, and see what everyone likes. So you'll be able to find the podcast on the website as normal and download it, and you'll also be able to go over to subscribe to iTunes and download it from there as well, or it'll automatically be downloaded. I'm not sure how that works. Also, I finished the first draft of the book, and I'm on to the second draft, and it'll probably be released after the 50th draft or something, because not that I'm a control freak or anything like that. No, it's just trying to get things right, and hopefully it'll be something worth reading. I got a question this week about sort of close to my heart, sort of close to some of the experiences that I've had, and it was, what happens if you quit drinking while your partner carries on drinking? And I think in the instance this guy was talking about his partner sort of not being too happy that he was quitting drinking, and wanting him to sort of cut down or have a dry spell, but then to carry on. And I understand where it's coming from, because he was saying that at the end of the day the two of them would, it was their ritual at the end of, in the evening, to sit down and have a chin wag and have a few glasses of wine or whatever it was. He said that she drank less than he did. He drank more than her. So but I think that's probably the experience of a lot of men, is that the girlfriend or the wife will drink one glass of wine and they'd already be on the be close to finishing the bottle, sort of thing. For me, that was always down to drinking pints. That was my thing in Ireland, and I approached drinking wine in roughly the same way. So by the time, it wasn't sipping or anything like that, it was just guzzling the stuff down, whereas my partner would sip like a lady should. No, I've known women who can drink me underneath the table. So but he was asking, really, what to do in those situations. And you really, I think, have to look after yourself. You've got to think about yourself. You've got to think about this thing in terms of what it's going to be like in 10 years' time. Is it still going to be fun sitting outside or sitting whatever, having your glass of wine? And any honest drinker will tell you, any honest drinker knows that it takes more and more to get the same buzz. The longer you drink, the more you need. A lot of the time it's down to fear. It's fear of something going wrong. It's fear of, if you change something, that the whole relationship is going to change, that something, it's going to create a snowball, and it's going to start interfering with other areas in your life. And I completely understand that. When one partner is drinking and the other partner is drinking, when one partner stops drinking and the other partner carries on drinking, it can often lead to a rift. But I think if you approach it, from the perspective of you have to quit it from health reasons, and that nothing else is going to change, and make sure that everything doesn't change it. But when I stopped, my partner still carried on drinking. So from day one, she had a glass of wine in the evening, and she refused to stop. And I respected her for that. That was her thing. It was my decision to stop drinking. It was I knew it was because of my health, and because I wanted to spend more time with my son and be a more responsible father, be a more responsible person. And alcohol to me wasn't making me, was doing the opposite. So it was just making me irresponsible, and I saw where I was heading to. But anyway, Esther wasn't like that. She's a completely responsible drinker, in the air quotes, like responsible, irresponsible. I don't buy into all that bullshit anyway. But she was able to have a glass of wine in an evening, and that was it. She was able to stop after one, and she still is able to stop after one. So at the beginning, the wine was there, but I asked her would she take the bottle of wine and put it into her office. So she did that, so the wine wasn't there in the kitchen on the counter, sort of staring me down every time I walked into the kitchen. But she would have the glass of wine beside her at night, and she did ask me at the beginning. She said, "Yeah, look, I really want to help you and stuff, and do you want me to take the wine out and drink it somewhere else?" And I said, "No, it's okay. If I have any problems, I'll get up myself and leave, do something else." So that's the way I did it. But it was talking to her beforehand and explaining to her what I was going to do, and this was my plan. This is what was going to happen. So if I did jump up in the middle of the thing, don't take offense at it, I understand that there's going to be fear on the other side as well, because you're changing as a person, and it can really affect other people around you. And it can affect other people around you to the extent that they will try and sabotage what you're doing. I haven't sort of directly experienced this. In small ways I have. People saying to me, "Well, come on, what the hell are you doing? It's only a drink, for God's sake." Things like that. People sort of trying to belittle the drinking and say, "Well, it's not as bad as it sounds." Where, from a personal level, it is. But it can seem to be a threat, because you're going to change. When you go outside and you're in this comfort zone that both of you have made a comfort zone together. You're both comfortable in this thing. Who each other is. You're sort of comfortable sitting with each other. You're comfortable in the silence, all that kind of stuff. And for one person to sort of change something, there's a risk, or a perceived risk to the other person, that everything is going to change. That one thing is going to lead on to another thing and another thing. And, sometimes that happens. I mean, with me, I stopped drinking. I'd stopped smoking a few years before, so it's not really... It is sort of related, because I don't think if I carried on smoking, I don't think I'd be stopping drinking. Let's put it like that. So I stopped drinking, and then I really started looking at my health, and started reading a lot of stuff about nutrition. And my dad went into hospital for he had a lot of heart problems and a lot of problems with his weight and all that was causing inside his body. So with his different organs, seriously didn't think he was going to come back out. at the hospital, and the doctors were saying, you know, the chances of him coming out here are virtually zero. So we were steeling ourselves for getting everyone across. There's 9 kids in the family. My mother passed away a few years ago, so we had to get everyone across and to a funeral. And you know, he just started coming around. He's a tough old bird, you know. But I really started looking then, you know, even more so into my nutrition and what I was basically putting into my body. And just as I saw myself as an alcoholic 10 years into the future, in this bed with my son looking at me, I basically put myself into the position of what it would be like to be in my dad's position. And that wasn't very hard because, you know, obviously going up there and seeing my dad in such a weak state, you know, and so vulnerable and so helpless. So it was very easy for me to sort of switch the roles and put myself there and look at myself looking back at my son and my partner and all that kind of stuff. So I completely changed my whole diet. I went vegetarian, stopped eating meat, stopped eating dairy, and I really ramped up my exercise. So there's a lot of changes that I've made, and there's so many changes I've made in my life because I've stopped drinking. Everything is, you know, my brain is clearer now, so I can think clearer, I can make better plans, and the plans that I'm making are much easier to put into practice. You know, with this kind of thing, you know, when you look at my first video, I see this guy there that was sort of beat, but was on his way. You know, that's the way I look at it now when I look at it. And I didn't know where it was going to lead me, but where it has led me and where I'm thinking of going now is just fantastic. And it's all because I stopped drinking and because I changed the way that I look at myself. So I'm going off on a tangent here, but the point is that when you've got when there's another person in your life and you start making all these changes, it can be very, very threatening to the other person. And you know, they can start making threats to you back. You know, they can start saying to you, well, you know, like, I don't really like these changes, you know, that you're making, and I'm not sure if I'm going to stick around. You have to make the decision then whether, you know, what's going to come first. Are you going to still keep killing yourself to placate somebody else in your life, or are you going to stay true to yourself and go through with it and try and explain things to you know, to your other half? You know, that's the route I would take. Really, I wouldn't worry about relationships. I think a strong relationship will always find a way to overcome these things. And you know, the fear really is only in the beginning, and change is very slow. You know, it seems that alcohol change is quick because you stop drinking and it's a final thing, you know, so you know, you're not doing it anymore. But changing the behavior about the alcohol is a long-term thing. It takes a while, you know, and it's all about small little adjustments, and those small adjustments easily fit into somebody else's life as well. So that's why you know, when somebody looks at your change and the way you're going to change is you're stopping drinking and everything that's going to follow, they picture in their minds you know, something happening straight away, and it doesn't happen like that. You know, the drink happens straight away. That's your first step. That's your first roadblock overcome. Once you stop drinking, you've stopped drinking. The rest of it is getting the drinking thoughts out of your brain. That takes a bit of time, and it takes the adjustment. So anyway, that's enough for now. Oh, it's a steep hill. I've been eating too many. My partner works in in a cake store and she's just been bringing too many cakes home. So I've been binging on the cakes for a while, so I've really got to sort of bring in something, because I can feel the effects. Who ate all the buns? Who ate all the buns? Anyway, enough. I'll see you next week. Don't forget to check out the podcast. It should be out on Thursday, I think. And leave a comment and let me know what you think of it. If it's good, if it's shit, don't leave me a comment, because I don't like bad comments really. So don't leave me a bad comment. If you haven't signed up for the newsletter yet, then distracted this morning. If you haven't signed up for the newsletter, go over to the website and sign up for that. It's absolutely free. And the forum as well. Forum is going well. Until next week, I'm Kevin O'Hara for Alcohol Mastery. Onwards and upwards.